Oh, there
There
you
we
go.
go.
Shit. Looking good.
Thank you.
So, I want to start by saying thank you and showing my gratitude for you and the time that you took for us. We definitely appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate it from you as well, having us on the show here.
And we have a few guys that are on our staff that are fucking fans, dude. So
Awesome. Hell yeah.
that's always an awesome thing.
Definitely a
Um,
piece.
explain you the genesis of Cultus Black.
Okay. Well, you want to know how we got started? What the deal is?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, you know, as you know, I was in other bands and stuff and touring the country and doing the whole nine yards. And while I was on tour, we were on tour with a band called Dope, and I was talking to Edsel Dope a lot while we were on tour. And he wanted to help me start another project. And he said that he felt like the music industry needed something like raw and intense and heavy and like with kind of a cultish vibe. And so that's just kind of where it all sprang from. Just me and him talking and trying to come up with ideas. And he kind of helped me in the beginning, kind of formulate what we were going to be like and, the direction we were going to go. And, over time, I mean, it's been like 2 years we've been working on this project. But you know how it is. It's like, it seems like a band pops up overnight, but really, most of the time they've been working on it for a year, 2 years, maybe 3 years before you even see any content. And that's kind of the case with us. Like we took a long time working on getting the guys together and getting the music good, getting the music together. And, now we've recorded the album and we have mixed the album and we're mastering the album now. So we don't have a release date, but we have an album that is forthcoming.
Oh,
Um,
man.
yeah,
Congratulations, and that's not a hard it's not an easy task.
no, it's not, especially with all the bullshit we've had to deal with on it. Can I say shit here? Is that okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
we're we're definitely on there. We can, we don't have like a specific age range we're going to.
Okay, cool. That's another thing. That's one of the things that we faced is just the culture of the internet these days. The censorship is just kind of, to me, it's out of control. Like we've had so many problems just trying to get our content, like to get ads for our content so that we can get it in front of people. Our first single, or we called it an anti-single, which it came to be, it really was. Um, you Made Me Sick, we released about a year ago. And we weren't able to get any ads or promote it at all because it had swearing in it. God forbid there's the
Oh,
word
I know.
fuck. Language apparently, it language and words only have power if you give it to them, and people are really giving language a lot of power in that regard because you can't. It opens with "fuck you," like that's the first lines in the song, and to me it's not just to be crass or vulgar. It's the way I felt at the time when I was making
There, man.
music.
It's in your
You know,
heart. You know what I mean?
I was fucking pissed off, and I'm writing pissed off music. So, anyways, we couldn't get any ads or anything for that because of it. But also, then as time goes on, because the song is called "You Make Me Sick," that's a problem now too because of COVID-19, and you
Oh,
can't
no
you
way.
can't talk about sickness or things being sick. That's a faux pas. I've learned that we wear masks in this band. The other members wear masks, and I've learned that you can't tag using the word mask, or they'll jerk your shit.
Oh,
you can't use the word mask.
in, in,
Just
in society now, do you think it's because of the election cycle that everything is? Because I'm feeling the same pressure. Like I'll get shadow banned or
yeah,
um like it seems like the only way for us to do it is 100% DIY. If you're
yep,
not running with the narrative, like, oh my goodness, David Grohl's the best in the world, or oh my God, you know what I mean?
yeah.
If there's any outside the box thinking, it's sort of not, it's not
That's
what they
not
want.
cool. You
Yeah.
can't do that. You got to toe the line. Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I think that definitely election year has a lot to do with a lot of things that are going on because, everything's political. And I hate politics myself. I'm not a left
Well,
wing, right wing. I don't really sit on either side of the fence. I think it's all bullshit to me. But I think it's used to divide people. I think politics are a device to divide. That's
and
my
it's just to get people to give a shit to vote. You know what I mean? If they don't, last year or the last election cycle was like 48% of Americans voted, and that's them. That's America caring. You know what I mean? So imagine if there was none of this bullshit that's going on now. People just wouldn't vote. It would be like 20%, 25% at the vote. So
I think most people realize it's bullshit. Like I think
I
most people
hope so.
know, like it's all a rigged scam. It's bullshit. But yeah, I think that that has a little bit to do with it. But I think also just I don't know. I was talking to somebody earlier about how it almost feels like, and I know that a lot of things are, a lot of people are suffering, and there's a byproduct of COVID-19 and so on and so forth. But in some ways, it almost feels like there's like a war on music, on like the music industry and even art in general, in the way that, well, okay. So for right now, as a small independent project like we are, okay, we can't play shows. We can't go out and play shows. Yet, like now, here where we are, like they just reopened gyms recently. A lot of
What state are you in?
North Carolina
North Carolina. Okay.
gyms and like most restaurants are open, and all this kind of stuff. But yet, clubs are still closed. You can't have. And I heard not too long ago that they were talking about in New York, which I'm not sure where are you at.
California.
You're in
Los Angeles.
California, yeah.
Yeah.
But I heard that in New York that they were making it illegal to have like, and I'm not sure what part of New York, don't quote me on this, but they were talking about that it was going to be illegal to have live shows and to sell tickets, to live shows. And I don't know, it's just like, okay, so as a small band like us, okay, we can't play live shows, and then, okay, so what are we going to do in the meantime? Well, we're going to try to put out as much content as we can, so we're going to try to put it online and try to promote it. Well, okay, well, you can't promote it either if you're talking about anything that they don't agree with. If you're using any swearing or curse words, then that's bad. If it's got any kind of, I learned that I was doing a hashtag for horror, like scary movies. And it, whenever I screenshot it and I posted it online, but whenever you do a search for horror, it literally came up on Instagram and told me that I needed to seek help. That it gave me a number to contact, like for a therapist, if I was searching for the term of horror. And I'm like, this is like, I'm just not with it. I'm not with it.
I mean, we have to go back to 90s status then, man. Like how CKY got over,
Yeah.
how a lot of the bands, just by word of mouth and CDs. And I mean, are we going to have, because it's almost as if social media has become the new red light district. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like whatever, you cannot have your own opinions there. You have to toe the line. And if you don't toe the line, then you're banned.
It used to be the Wild West, I miss that. I miss it being the Wild West. Now it's so overly sanitized and controlled. I don't feel like it's good for the culture. I mean, that's just me. I feel like there's got to be another avenue that's going to open up. And, I don't know what it's going to be, but,
And it's
art,
giving people a false sense of reality.
yeah, art
Like
finds
there's no
ways.
such thing as hate or anger. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or
Oh, that doesn't exist.
right.
You can't be angry.
That's
There
shit.
is no underbelly to society. We'll push that all aside.
Just like they do in California with all the homeless.
Yep.
It's
I've
it's
heard that's a big problem.
the
Yeah.
governor says he's going to do something about it, and it's of course we're in a COVID situation where people are losing their jobs, but I think as a society we should do something. We should help people, especially.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're in a position to help, and you should help, help your fellow man.
And most of the people who are homeless, it's a mental disability or something emotional that they need to get past.
No, I could definitely see that. We have a little bit of homeless out here. We don't have it like we do like you guys do in California.
Oh man,
But
dude,
I mean, I see it here too.
if you exit a freeway out in California, it's like a city. Like
Yeah.
all underneath the underpass, 50 to 100 tents.
Yeah, no, I know. I've rolled through there a few times, just because my last band was based in California, so I was out there a good bit, back and forth, hanging out with those dudes. And so, yeah, I mean, I know exactly what you're talking about.
All right. Talk me through your new single that you released, um, the cover song. It's a Nirvana
Yeah.
song. Tell me about it.
Well, again, trying to just come out with content because we had a tour booked with Head PE for this period of time,
I
and it got.
just interviewed Head PE last Friday.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I love those dudes. I've toured with them quite
Jacob?
a bit. What's
What's his
up?
name? Is his name Jacob? Justin? Justin, right? The lead singer, Justin?
Oh, Jared.
Jared. Sorry.
Jared,
Fuck. Man, so
yeah.
many people I'm
It's a
interviewing.
J. It's a J name.
Yeah, I knew it.
But yeah, no, I've toured with those guys a few times before, and so then this would have been the first tour for this project. Would have been with them, but that got canceled, or not canceled. It's technically postponed, but there's no telling when it's really going to happen because we've tried to rebook it once already, and by the time they were booking the dates, they were getting canceled as they were booking. So it's just up in the air. Who knows? But that is just to set the stage for we needed to come out with more content. Like, if we're not touring, we got to come out with content. And we've been waiting on the album. There's been lots of issues with trying to get the album done. So we're like, we're not sure when the album's going to come out. We want to come out and do something. So we wrote the song Witch Hunt and we released it. And then on the heels of that, we wanted to do something else and we wanted to get something out pretty quickly. So we're like, let's do a cover. And I've always been a big fan of 90s music. And like you had said before, I do it like they did in the 90s. I think there was kind of a rebellious vibe in the 90s, that I really dig. And I like a lot of music from then. So I wanted to
Social
do.
media was in the 90s. Do you think that era would have happened?
I don't know. I don't know. That's a good question. If it was the early part of social media, then yeah.
Yeah.
But if it was as strangled as it is now, the thing is, I mean, in the 90s, though, it's kind of funny because it's kind of cyclical because in the 90s, they were fighting like everything was so sanitized, like earlier 90s on TV and radio where you can't cuss and you can't do this, that, and the other thing. So you got like grunge music that's like, kind of rebellious. We don't give a fuck, whatever,
Yeah.
whatever. And so that it's a similar dynamic, really, just as a different medium. But I've still wanted to do something from a '90s band, and so much stuff's been done to death. But I saw the cover that Puddle of Mud did, just of Nirvana stuff, and of course it was awful, you know. And so I saw that. I'm like, we could do something good with a Nirvana cover, And so Negative Creep kind of struck me as a song that was already kind of gritty and aggressive. And so I thought we could take that and just turn the aggressive dial all the way up and, make it heavier and more intense. And, just do Nirvana the way I feel like it should be done.
And it's dark. That's a dark song.
Yeah, it is. So, that's what we went with. And I think it turned out pretty well.
It
It's
was
funny.
awesome.
Thank you.
Me and my kids, or me and my son, I picked him up. I pick him up from his mom's house every other day. And I was saying, hey, I'm going to interview these guys. What do you think? And then he put it on his playlist. So
Nice.
he
Good.
liked it. And that's for my son, especially youth now, he's like he's 14. So it's a lot of hip hop. And for him to put it on there,
Hell yeah.
got to say something.
Yeah, for sure. Opened his mind to other styles of music.
And he doesn't fuck around with any other style of music. So I was like, yeah. Or maybe he wants something. I don't know. Maybe he's trying to impress me.
Yeah,
But
I guess you know.
it's a dope song, man. We listened to it for our 20-minute ride over and over and repeat.
Hell yeah. Good. That's what I like. But yeah, we just it's funny to see the different reactions to it though, because we figured we are gonna get people that were like diehard Nirvana fans that were gonna be like, this sucks, how dare you, and we got a little bit of that. But majority of the people that were commenting or watching, viewing, whatever, we got good reactions from, And it was funny because it was posted on the Head PE page, and somebody on there was like, this is better than the original. And then he got like a whole list of people that were like, how dare you, you know? And I'm like, that's cool. Like everybody has their own opinion. As long as you're listening, I don't give a fuck. You hate it, you love it. I think it's
How
the
much
best thing
thought,
ever, or the worst.
how much thought goes into your live performance?
A good deal.
I can imagine.
I we put a lot of thought and effort into really everything that we do, you know. But to me, live performance, which is not happening right now, but in theory, live performance is extremely important. To me, if you just want to hear the music, you'll just sit at home and listen to music. You'll listen to music in your car. But what is your real motivation for going to see a band live? It's their show. It's the energy, you know. So I really believe in putting a lot of emotion and energy into a live show, as well as theatrics, lights. It should be a very interesting and engaging visual component, you know, to your
What
live
are,
set.
what are some of your influences, not musically, but um, for your theatrics?
Well, I mean, it is musical, but it's theatric too. Nine Inch Nails, again, 90s. Nine Inch Nails, I'm really influenced by Trent Reznor, and I've always been just amazed at
His
the way
voice is
they're,
ridiculous, huh?
his what now?
His voice
Yes.
is just beautiful.
Yeah.
It
He's,
really,
and
like, I didn't realize how much of a pure musician he was until maybe like a month ago,
oh yeah,
2 months
he
ago. Just
definitely is.
listening to it.
The funny thing is though, I mean, really technically he's not that great of a singer, really. But he puts a lot of emotion into his voice. Like he's not going to be able to sing like super high notes and super low notes and do all these fancy, you know, that's not him really, you know. But he commits to what he's singing
Yep.
and it means something to him and he connects with an audience. And so that means a lot. And that's why people really dig his stuff, you know. But the visual component of what he does with their shows has just always been it's just mind blowing to me. The lights and just the way they it's an art installment almost, you know. So I really like we don't have a budget like that, but I try to take some of those sort of ideas and incorporate it into our set. Like we have the program lights that go along with the set and all that kind of stuff. But I'm also, you know, I like a lot of horror movies and stuff. I was really into not so much the movies, but the video games for Silent Hill. Those were awesome. Those definitely had an influence on me.
You ever
You know,
play what is that shit called? BioShock?
Bioshock. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
It's a dope game, huh?
yeah. I like Bioshock too, for sure. So you know, I don't know, horror movies, just and 90s music and Marilyn Manson too. You know, just all that kind of stuff has definitely been influence on me over the years. I pull influence from all over the place. Like you never know what you're watching that will strike you and be like, hey, you know, I could incorporate
Do you
something like that.
subscribe to Shutter?
Shutter, I don't.
You should, man. It's only like $5 a month.
Yeah.
If you have it, they have some great movies on there.
Oh, I know. I've seen it popping up a lot, but I haven't made the leap.
It's dope. And then Hulu has some good Blumhouse movies. They have
Oh
a
yeah.
sort of deal with Blumhouse, and there's probably like 20, and Blumhouse makes okay movies, you know?
Yeah, no, they make some good ones. I'm not picky with movies, really,
Mhm.
because I don't know, I find something entertaining in most kinds of movies, especially horror. Like I really like really shitty horror movies. Like if they're really bad, like I really get a kick out of that. One of my favorite movies is Troll 2.
Oh shit, that's a good one, huh?
I don't know if you've ever watched it, but
I did, yeah.
there's a documentary about it too. Have you seen the documentary?
No, I haven't seen it.
You should check that out because it's interesting.
All right, I will.
The director is fucking out of his mind. But that's what makes it good.
They had this one movie, this real shitty movie on Netflix a while back called Dr. McDirt, and it's about this like penis that kills people.
I can imagine that. I haven't seen it, but there was one about a tire that killed people. What was the name of that movie? Do you know what I'm talking about?
What is it called? Or
I
what?
don't remember the name of it, but it was a tire that
Oh
killed him.
yeah, dude, that's a good movie. I like that one.
Yeah, I can't remember the fucking name of it.
It might be just Tire
It might have
or
been
Rubber. I think it's Rubber.
Rubber. It's Rubber. That's what
Yeah,
it was. Yeah, yeah. I watched that a while back. That was a good one.
and that was
Um,
real shitty, but it was somewhat.
it's great, but I also like legitimately good horror films like The Shining. Fucking love The Shining. We actually,
The sequel?
what's that?
Did you see the sequel?
Oh, you mean
Yeah,
Doctor
Doctor.
Sleep?
Yeah,
Sleep. Yeah, I read the book and saw the movie, and yeah, I liked it. It's not. I didn't think it was as good as the original, of course, but it held its own. It did pretty
yeah.
well. But yeah, I mean, like with our live sets, even I use a lot of samples from movies and stuff, and there is a sample from The Shining. I've used stuff from American Horror Story. American Horror Story has been a pretty big influence on me too. The earlier seasons, not so much latter. I'm a big Jessica Lange fan. She's awesome.
You didn't like 1984?
Nah, it was okay,
Yeah.
but I don't know. No Jessica Lange.
And then the politic one, I didn't like that one that much. Election, whatever.
Yeah, no, I know the one. I like some aspects of it, but it wasn't as good as like Asylum or Murder
Oh my
House.
God. Or Coven. That was, I think
Yeah,
that's
that
my
was good
favorite
too.
one.
Yeah,
Like when they're on the floor and she's trying to come out of the dream state.
yeah,
Oh, like I've felt that before. Like I'm in a dream. I know I'm in a dream. I'm trying to get out.
yeah.
But I just can't. And I thought that was just to capture that
They
in
did a good job
film.
of capturing it. Yeah,
Yeah.
dreams are weird.
Um, what how did you guys spend your virus, the whole lockdown, and how bad did, like, because usually it affects artists a little more than the regular population, and how bad did you get affected
Well, again,
mentally, emotionally?
we had our first tour canceled, which really sucked. But we had a few local shows canceled too, of course. But we I decided, and I feel like in a time of crisis or anything that's going badly wrong, you try to make the best of it. And I've told you know my cult mates that we have become really adept at making the best of a bad situation because we constantly feel like we're getting fucked around. But during the quarantine, I guess, we had all the shows canceled and all that stuff. So I was like, okay, well, like I mentioned earlier, let's immediately get to working on content, trying to get our numbers up and trying to get the word out about the project. So in that period of time, in the past, how long has it been now? 3, 4 months? I don't even know.
Since March,
Yeah,
so it's like,
crazy.
yeah, it's like 6 7 months.
It's nuts. But we did a live stream, which was a lot of people had started doing that, and so I was like, we need to do a live stream, but we need to do it like legit. So we rented out a local venue and got a camera crew and everything, and like did a live stream as legitimate as we could. And so that kind of scratched the itch a little bit of playing live, but there's nothing like having an audience, a live in front of you in person audience.
At all.
There's nothing to connect with. I was happy that we were able to do that and able to get in front of people, and like people were sending like video and pictures of them sitting in front of their TV watching, and it's like it's cool that at least we can kind of connect, but it's not the same. But
How
we did.
do you just move? Do you just muscle through it and
What
then
do you
keep
mean?
it in the groove when you're performing to nobody?
Yeah, I mean, you just got to make it happen. You feed on yourself basically, and just got to make it happen. It's no in that respect, it's no different than if you're playing a show that's fucking empty. I mean, we've all played empty ass shows. Um, you if you're a good performer, you're gonna perform the same in front of two people as if you would, 2,000. And that's the way I've always felt about it. So if those two people paid, then I'm going to perform my ass off either way. So it's kind of the same principle. If there's nobody in front of you, there's people at home watching. So you got to fucking perform. You got to put your best face forward. So you just do what you got to do, and you bring the energy out, and you make it happen. that's it is what it is. It's not as easy. It's not as fun, if you don't have people live there to connect with. But you got to make it work. But yeah, we did that. We did the video for Witch Hunt, and then we did video for Nevermind. Not Nevermind. That's one of our songs, but the Nirvana cover. So we've stayed busy. Like we've been putting out content pretty steady, pretty regularly. Actually, one of the people that I was talking to that really got me more like motivated to, yes, we do need to take advantage of this time and put out content is Mikey Doling from, he used to be in Snot, and he's got, I can't say the name of his fucking band, and I hate to say that, but it's like Wyatt or Woyette, and I've never heard him say the name, and I've just read it in print, and I don't know how to say it. But either way, Mikey's fucking awesome. His band is awesome. Actually, Aaron from Gemini Syndrome is their singer now. So they're dope as shit. But I was talking to him, and he was talking about how he's like, yeah, you got to put out constant content. We've been doing it and putting out like stuff every, month and a half to 2 months. And I'm like, oh, fuck it. If you can do that, I can do that. So,
My man. Well, I would love to, if the next time you were in California, I would love, like our group, we do a magazine, then we do a podcast, and every other Friday we go to a haunted place inside California. So if ever you guys are around and would love to hang out with us, and like we went to the Manson Caves a while back, we went to Sharon Tate Murder House. We've visited empty or abandoned asylums, abandoned like a bunch of shit. And if you're interested, we would love to have you on, man.
Hell yeah, that sounds dope as shit. I would definitely be down for that. Whenever we're actually able to go out and tour again, or if there's NAMM, or if there's something going on, definitely would love to be out there and do that.
You don't want to go to NAMM this year.
No. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Every time I go to NAMM, I can't even imagine what kind of sickness I'm going to get if I go this year.
Yeah. Well, COVID, more than likely.
I think that's the least of my worries. If I go.
The mange. Syphilis, gonorrhea.
Yeah.
Black plague.
That's what I'm worried about.